Rob here at etrailer.com, and today you're going to be taking a look at the best hitch options for your 2015 through 2019 Subaru WRX. So we're going to have a total of 3 different options out here. The first one right here in the middle is going to be our EcoHitch. It's going to be a Class 3 hitch. And just to the side of that over here, we're going to have our Draw-Tite. It's going to be a Class 1. And on the other side of our EcoHitch, we're going to have a Class 1 Curt Hitch. Now, if it were me looking for my Subaru WRX, I would go with the EcoHitch for a few different reasons, but let's take a closer look at all 3 of our hitches and go over the features. Now, at first glance, when you're looking at all the hitches, you'll notice that both the Class 1 hitches have a very similar design to them. The Class 3 EcoHitch definitely stands out and looks a lot different. And that's because of how they're going to mount and where they're going to sit on our car. Both the Draw-Tite and the Curt are both going to sit right below the bumper, and that cross tube in the center is going to be visible. Whereas with our EcoHitch, it's going to be completely hidden behind the bumper. So here we have our EcoHitch installed, and if I pull the knockout out, we can see the receiver tube sticking out right there, so we can put a ball mount, bike rack, or whatever accessory we have. You can see just how nice it looks and how hidden it is. And again, if we're not towing, no one's going to know because our car is going to look completely stock. That's one of the real big reasons why I like the EcoHitch. It has the best look out of all of them because, again, you're not even going to be able to tell it's there until you use it. Now, one of the downsides to that is the fact that getting access to the pinhole can be a little troublesome. We're going to have to reach underneath the fascia, pull downward a little bit, and then even then still have to sneak it in there. Whereas with both our Class 1s, like our Draw-Tite here, the fascia is actually going to be sitting right above the cross tube here, so we'll have plenty of room to access everything we need and get our accessories in place. Our Curt is going to sit relatively in the same spot, right below the fascia. The receiver tube sticks out, and we'll have plenty of room to get our pin and clip in place and all of our accessories. The only big difference between the Draw-Tite and the Curt really is going to be the aesthetics of it. The Curt's going to have this square tube, which kind of match a little bit better on the lower air dam of our WRX, and the receiver tube here is going to have this nice collar, just kind of giving it more of a finished look. Whereas with our Draw-Tite, it's going to have a round cross tube, and the end of our receiver tube is just going to be flush cut off. Now, aside from appearance, our EcoHitch is going to have a few more benefits. Since it is going to sit up higher on the bumper, we're going to get a lot more ground clearance out of it. Our bumper is actually going to be below where the receiver tube is, so we're not going to have to worry about the hitch hitting anything at all. But with both of our Class 1 hitches, it's a different story. Since our WRX already sits fairly low to the ground, and the cross tube here is going to be below that, and if you do want to get a bike rack or a cargo carrier, I would definitely recommend a raised shank so we get a little bit more ground clearance out of our accessories. And the Curt's going to have the same issue. But you can see with our EcoHitch, it's going to be sitting quite a bit higher, almost in the bumper rather than below it. As far as the installation goes, our EcoHitch is going to be the most involved. We're going to have to remove the fascia and do some minor trimming on that knockout, but we're not going to have to drill anything and there's no welding involved. It's just going to bolt in place using the existing holes. Now, both the Class 1 hitches are going to be a little bit more straightforward and a little easier. We're not going to have to remove the fascia. There is some minor cutting that we're going to have to do to enlarge a hole just so we can get the hardware in place, but it is a lot more straightforward. Our Draw-Tite is going to install almost identically to the Curt. We're not going to have to remove the fascia, but we are going to have to enlarge that hole and fish wire some hardware in. Now, one thing you might be wondering about is the weight capacity. Obviously, if you're looking for a hitch, you want to make sure it's up for the task you're going to be using it for. If you're carrying bikes, a cargo carrier, or if you have a ball mount and you want to tow a trailer, you want to make sure that the hitch can handle it. Our EcoHitch is going to have a 350-pound tongue weight. That's going to be the maximum downward force of the receiver tube. And since it is a Class 3, we're going to have a little bit more options when it comes to accessories, and we'll be able to carry those larger bike racks, maybe even up to 4 or 5 bikes. As far as the gross trailer weight rating goes, our EcoHitch is going to have a 3,500-pound rating. That's how much our hitch can pull, including the trailer and everything we have loaded on it. Both of our Class 1 hitches are going to have a 200-pound tongue weight. And since they have that 1¼ by 1¼ receiver tube opening, we are going to be a little bit more limited on the accessories we can get and the weight limit on what kind of bike racks and cargo carriers we put in there. And as far as the gross trailer weight rating, each hitch is going to have a 2,000-pound rating. But keep in mind that the Draw-Tite as well as the Curt both have specific drawbars or ball mounts that are made to use with those hitches. So to sum everything up, if appearance is your main concern on your WRX, I would definitely go with the EcoHitch because it's going to have the most clean look to it. Now if ground clearance is going to be an issue for you, again, I would go with the EcoHitch. If ease of installation is a big concern of yours, I would definitely go with the Curt because it is going to be a lot easier than our EcoHitch and somewhat easier than Draw-Tite. And finally, if the weight capacity of the hitch is your biggest concern, I would go with the EcoHitch. It's going to have the highest weight rating and it is a Class 3, so we're going to have a lot more options when it comes to accessories. We hope this information has helped you whenever you're looking for a hitch for your Subaru WRX.